Just in time for dinner tonight. I'm Dr. Joe, and in just a few short minutes I'll show you how to put a wonderful meal together for dinner, and then put your breakfast together and your lunch together to take with you tomorrow. It's just like I talk about in my cookbook, Dr. Joe's Natural Healing Cookbook. Fix all the food you need for the next 24 hours at one time of the day, whatever works best for you, and you're set to eat healthy all day long. Now, actually, we're not going to use any recipes out of this cookbook tonight, because once you learn the principles of putting together healthy meals like I teach you in Dr. Joe's Natural Healing Cookbook, you can just do your own creative, beautiful, scrumptious meals. So come on over to my kitchen and let's get started. So these are the foods I've set out for us. On the left there you see purple potatoes that we grew in our garden. If you haven't ever tried purple potatoes, they're really good. We're just going to put the lid on this dish and then stick it in the oven in just a minute. I try to cook as much as I can when I have the oven on. So here's a butternut squash that we also grew in our garden. It's early February, so it's really fun to still have these foods left from our garden, because we live in the mountains and we've had 2 feet of snow that turned to ice that covered the garden. And actually, some of the plants survived. It's amazing, but we had harvested these in the fall. So that butternut squash is going to go in the oven too. I set the oven for 350 and it's come up to speed. And so just hang on a second. I'm going to pop those in the oven. I'll be right back. Okay, those things are in the oven. And this is the next step, making a nice, beautiful salad. Here we have some spinach leaves in the dish. I'm going to add this mushroom and some celery, a little bit of chopped up onion, a little avocado. And that's what we'll have as the raw part of our dinner tonight. Now, look at this beautiful broccoli plant. I am so proud of this broccoli plant. It's the one and only plant of broccoli that I've ever grown. So I'm really anxious to see how it tastes. And it actually survived under that 2 feet of ice and snow in December. So it's going to be a nice little taste treat, I hope. Alright, we're going to go over to the other side of my counter here, and I'll show you what I'm fixing for to take with my breakfast tomorrow. Now, I know a lot of you probably aren't used to eating vegetables for breakfast, and for a long time I wasn't either. So I had to eat steamed or cooked vegetables for breakfast for a while, but now I love to take raw vegetables with me in the morning. So I'm taking some jicama. If you haven't ever seen that, it's a Mexican root vegetable. Here's some, I've cut it into some strips here, and that'll go into my little container to take with me tomorrow. Then I'm having a variety of these little mini bell peppers that I just love. They're so crunchy and tasty. A little cucumber, some snap peas, cabbage, and then I'm going to soft boil those 2 eggs, and that'll be my breakfast. Now look at all these colors. It's really cool. This is part of what we do in the cookbook, is advise you to eat a variety of colors in your meal. So if you've looked at Dr. Joe's Natural Healing Cookbook, you'll recognize this the green leafy vegetable, this is the green vegetable, this is the root, this is the red, orange, or yellow, this is the white. So right there we have all 5 vegetables plus the protein, and then I'll probably take some of that butternut squash I just popped in the oven as kind of my little cooked food to go with that food. Now here's my salad I'm getting ready for lunch tomorrow. I have some romaine lettuce in there with some onions that I cooked in this fajita dish last night. So I'm taking, this was all marinated in a really delicious sauce, and actually this recipe is in the cookbook. It's called Becky's Fajitas. This is the chicken all cut up. some of the little mini bell peppers that I sauteed, along with some zucchini. That was all sauteed in the marinade we put on the meat. Now I'll take a little of that marinade to sprinkle on my salad to make everything tasty. And here's a little side dish of some beans I cooked last night that will complete all the 7 items in the plate of 7 that we use in the Get Healthy Eating Plan. That's the grain or bean. Now let's come on around and I'll show you the meat we're having for dinner. I took this piece of meat, sprinkled a little brown rice flour on this plate, shook in a little salt and pepper, and then you coat each side really thoroughly. There we go. Now we're going to put a little olive oil into this Dutch oven, get it hot, sear each side of the meat, pour in a ½ cup of water, put the lid on, and pop this in the oven to cook for about 40 minutes, and the meat will be very tender. So there you have it, my beautiful meal plan in my kitchen that's going to last for the next 24 hours. And I hope you enjoy cooking a beautiful, delicious meal of your own creation. Until the next time, so long.